Yep, got everything. Thank you for taking the list and getting the frequency warmed up. Now, are there any other stations that want to get on the list? If so, please call now.
W7MS.
W7MS, I have you. Kilo Bravo 6, I didn't get the rest of that, so please give me your call one more time.
Roger that. Kilo Bravo 6.
Oh, I got it that time. That came through nice. KB6. KB6 SCO. I have you. Are there any other stations that want to check in? I did get a W7MS, and is there another W7 station that wants to get on the list? Please call now. No, there's nobody else. All right, very good, and thank you for the relay, and let's begin. And welcome everyone to the Wednesday night West Coast AMI Net, and the purpose of this net is to promote the preservation, restoration, and enjoyment of AM transmitters and modern and vintage and anything at all that'll create a carrier and modulate it is welcome to check in to the net tonight. You don't have to be a member of anything to do that. If you want to be a member of AMI and get an AMI number, you can do that by I'm almost stumbling now. You go to the website aminternational.club. aminternational is all one word, .club, and then there's a $5 fee and some information to give, and you'll get a certificate and your own AMI number, and it's kind of neat to have that, so please do if you haven't already. It's kind of cool to do. And when I call you, please give your name and location and AMI number if you have one, and tell us about your equipment and anything else you want to talk about for a couple of minutes is cool to do. Also, if you want to list anything to sell during your check-in, that's welcomed, or anything you're looking to pick up, something you're having trouble finding. And why do I have reflected power? I'll talk and turn that's better. Anyway, during your check-in, buying and selling, give us the information. That's welcome. Let me know if you'd like to be on the list for the round table that should immediately follow the net tonight. I'll be your host tonight, KF6SYD, Stephen Long Beach, AMI 1708, and I'm using a CCA AM1000D transmitter, inverted B at 70 feet, ladder line fed, window line, whatever you want to call it. Got tuner here, and AKG microphone, and some Behringer stuff, and a neat little limiter that I got on eBay that keeps me from being 40 kcs wide like I used to be. What did I leave out? Nothing. Let's go ahead and do a tune-up, and then we'll get started with the net.
Is this frequency in use? W7MS.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, Eddie.
KD6TKX.
This is AM Jihad, 10-4DLA. NY6L Hesperia. NY6L, a 945 watt peak. NY6L clear.
He always wins.
The day they come to
NA7RH, did I hear you out there? Yeah, I couldn't tell what you said, but that's your voice. I got you down on the list, Bob. Anyone else want to get on the list? Very good. All right, beautiful tune-up. Jay wins. And let's start out with Skip. Yeah, K6LGL. Skip, go ahead and take your turn.
K6LGL, Captain Santa Monica, and AMI number is 166. Usual Benson Harbor, base modulated suitcase, can't call the heading, limited cruise matter, and then cabin in. Cabinet in the front panel. Okay. So running that humble dipole antenna, the Lollipop static salt crystal microphone D104 minor. I wanted to mention that AMI, the membership fee, the one-time, it's a lifetime fee. And there's no annual dues or anything. You pay it and you get assigned a certificate with a unique number. And each number has printed its own unique number. And it's a lifetime. It's a loose federation of AM operators all over the U.S. and Canada and elsewhere. But we got members all over the world in AMI. So that's the story on that. Thanks for doing the net, Steve. Good luck. Good luck. Lots of QSB tonight, so it's going to be a bit challenging. But maybe things will improve as time goes on. So hang in there, my friend, and we'll see how things work out. KF6SYD and the West Coast AMI Net, K6 Little Green Light.
Okay, Skip. Yeah, you faded out right toward the end and then came back and gave it back to me. So held up pretty good that time. Okay, KD6 VWS. Ron, did you feel better? Did you get more painting done? I want to know. Go ahead.
Okay, Steve. KF6SYD, KD6VWS, Ron here in Joshua Tree. And now, I thought better today, but the wind was blowing too hard, so I had to shine it on, take care of other things, getting on the internet and paying my property taxes, and ordered some more CBD for my cat, and that was about it. So maybe tomorrow the wind won't blow and I can get back to it. I don't know. Man, that's the trouble, you know. It was real hot, and that made it tough to do it. And then trying to get decent weather and then no wind, it's kind of tough. Anyway, Ron here in Joshua Tree, and I'm running the Valiant version 1, 152 watts of carrier, and feed it with the Turner Plus 3 microphone. Listening on the M125, and I've got the Q multiplier going on most signals because of the fading. But man, you're right here in the shack, man. You got a booming signal in here, so I hope I'm making it halfway to you decently. But yeah, QSB is murder. Anyway, all that's going up to the W4 Drake watt meter, and then to the SA2040 coax up to the end-fed line wire of about 25 feet, and a quarter wave counterpoise off the shield of the cable. And no on the swap or the round table, but I will be listening through. So great signal. Thank you for taking the net. And thank you, Skip, for the earlies. Yeah, it was a tough one tonight, but it got done, so good list. So, KF6SYD, KD6VW Russ.
Okay, Ron. Yeah. All the conditions have to be right for what you're doing till you get done with the sketchy part, but you'll get it done here and there. And I'm glad you started feeling better. That's rather have the weather be against you than that. It's no good. And don't remind me of the property taxes. I got the bill, and it's like, oh, yeah. Okay. Let's keep going. KK6 IRZ, Jeff, what's been going on with you? Go ahead. Carrier for an instant. I did. KK6 IRZ, KF6SYD calling. No, Jeff's not here. Okay. Then John, probably not supposed to, but why not? N9 AMI, KF6SYD calling. No, he wasn't supposed to be there, so Phil always. N6WHK, how you doing tonight, Phil?
Pretty good. N6WHK picking it up. I got a little story for you. With water pipes and things. I have a small retaining wall about 4 foot high, maybe 5 foot high, out in front of the house. I just put in, about a month and a half ago. I'm out there digging with a pickaxe. I just halfway digging, and all of a sudden I got a shower. And it works the car, and it works the driveway. And I ended up turning the water off to the house because it hit the main water line. Put the most beautiful little square hole you ever saw in the water line. So I ended up having to cut it, put a piece in and solder it in place. And, well, when I calmed down and cooled off, I finished the job a couple days later. Anyway, running my normal equipment, Johnson Viking Ranger, hammer on HQ 110, L4B, putting out about 200 watts, plus or minus a couple. Johnson Matchbox to keep it under control. B104 mic, the modulator, 6-inch scope to watch the pattern, and it looks fairly decent. About 235 feet. Actually, it's probably about 435 feet of wire in a diamond configuration. And listen to everybody on my Hammerman speaker. Makes everybody sound so good. Anyway, Steve, you're not the only one that has my problem. N6WHK.
All right, Phil. I wish there wasn't any way to get a picture of that. You probably didn't have anyone there to enjoy that with you. But what a story, and I can just see the square hole. Boy, oh boy. Well, that's one of those things, if you tried to do it, you wouldn't be able to. But it's right square on. That's something else. Beautiful signal tonight, Phil. Thanks for being here. And I'll be thinking about you with the pickaxe for a couple of days. That's what a thing. Next up, Ken, KW1NG. Ken, go ahead. It's your turn.
Thank you, John. Very good. Well, I have a couple of stories. I think I'll stay with this one. In the spirit of doing things that have happened, like putting a square hole in a water pipe. My dad was a construction manager up in Alaska, building. He was with a commercial company where they were building facilities for the Navy. And so I spent the summer up there, about 6 months. That's about the length of summer anyway. And sudden the phone went ring and jumped off the table, just jumped. And it turned out that somebody somewhere on the island had drug a buried high voltage line into the phone cables and blew up the entire phone system on the island. So, Phil, yours is no biggie compared to that one. Property taxes are never withheld on my monthly bill, so it's not so bad, but when you get the bill and look at it, you go, holy smokes. Wow. Anyway, we live in California. Congratulations. All right, well, I'm running a IC7610 in AM mode with the power crank down into a 30L1, which is running at about 120 watts carrier, and peaking right now at 450 watts, something like that. And it's 85-foot long wire with 1 gallon of it. Called a bullet. And so that works quite well. I do have to run a antenna here on 75 because it's about 4 to 1 impedance, something like 4 to 1 SWR. But on the other bands, it's 2 to 1 or less. And if I had a longer wire, it would be lower on this band. But anyway, it seems to work out pretty well. All right. And besides that, I do have the S1 S3 transmitter and 75 S3C receiver, which we use and get on the call and on Fridays. And it's kind of fun. So I am looking for a PW filter for that 75 S3C. So if anybody knows of one around, they're hard to find. A lot to, and neither one have worked. Still on the hunt. That's about it for me, so John. And by the way, John, you have a good one. You're running about 30 over here, so it's gorgeous and beautiful.
All right, and I wrote it down. I'm not familiar. 75S3C. Is that the right designation?
That is correct. It's the band switch position. But it's like a 35S3B.
Okay. Ken is looking for a 75S3C transmitter, and if you got a line on one, give KW1NG Ken, drop him a note. He's good on QRZ. So, all right, Ken, thank you. Next up, Mark, K6MJD. How you doing tonight, Mark?
Stephen and Matt. My name is Mark, K6MJD in San Diego. Running Super Senior, about 250 watts carrier. Aesthetic G104 microphone. TX Commander antenna, classic. Drake R8B on the receive, so I can use the asynchronous AM to help with the fades tonight. Let's see. For sale, I have a Collins 20V broadcast transmitter. I'm going to let go for the low price of $500. And let's see. AMI number 1728-1728, if I didn't say that. I'm on the round table. Have to get up at dark 30 for work. But I am going to be listening out to the remainder of the net. Back to you, Steve. K6MJD, San Diego.
Excuse me, I'm typing something. See if I can get... Oh, come on, don't do that. Oh, yeah, that's what I thought it was. Okay, Mark. Cool. Beautiful signal. Thank you for being here. And please keep talking to us. I enjoyed it. We used to talk all the time back in the day, so it's good that you're here again. And Mark has for sale a Collins 20V broadcast transmitter for $500. So that's a good deal. If you want a Collins 20V transmitter, drop Mark a line, K6MJD. And that's very cool, Mark. All right. Next up, the Powerhouse. Station on the air. NY6LJ, over to you. Sometimes he goes to dinner. Yeah, that's kind of... How come I can't work this computer anymore? NY6L, KF6SYD calling. Alright, we'll circle back to Jay. He'll be back again. And we should circle back to Jeff, too. Let's try Jeff. KK6IRZ. Jeff, have you returned? Alright, on we go. KD6TKS. No. KD6TKX. Andy, how you doing tonight?
Hey, Steve. Doing good. KF6SYD. And the Wednesday night AMI group. This is Kilowatt Delta 6 Tango Kilo X-Ray Andy at Curry Mountain. Got a bit of a cold, so got kind of a sort of a different audio flavor going, but it's almost gone, so feeling much better. Running the BC610E model tonight transmitter, and the receiver's an AR88, which is really cool. I've been enjoying this for the last couple months. It was in the broken toy pile for quite a while, and I just, for whatever reason, plucked it, and really glad I did. It's been a lot of fun to operate. So got the AR88 in line with the SX28 off to the side for other purposes there. I just use it as a receiver for listen to AM or whatever. All analog and inefficient and tube and etc. The antenna's a fan V dipole cut for 160, 75, and 40. And the microphone's a good old D104 going right into the BC614 speech amp and then into the transmitter. So pretty stock World War II transmitter, but they sure did a nice job on it. So usually it doesn't take much to make them sound good. So I've been enjoying this particular one for I guess about the last 10 years, and that's the third one I've had. So I'm going to hold on to this one. Let's see. It's been a lot of motorcycles going on here for me lately, so I've been kind of diverting time and energy into that interest, and also the grandson. So lots of new wonderful things happening up here this year. So grateful for all that. Steve, I'm glad that the plumbing's working out up there at the cabin. That's really cool, and I can bring on a whole new level of enjoyment and comfort. So that's great. We'll just leave it right there. And, and good to hear all my friends out there in AM land. Everyone's sounding good tonight. And thank you to Skip for taking the earlies, and Steve doing a great job as always. So back it comes, and thank you for, you do a lot of work for the AM crew. Oh, I almost forgot. AMI number 1845. Thanks, John. So, but I'll wait to the party, then I guess never to the party. KF6SYD, this is KD6TKX.
All right, Andy. AMI 1845, congratulations. And I know you don't feel good, but you sound just like yourself. So hope the cold goes away and you can feel like yourself again soon. And cool on the motorcycles. Don't get hurt on them. That's what. Yeah, well, I just bashed my knee, and you know what? I was 40 years old, 42, and I'm like, you know what? I'm done. No more motorcycles for me. But yeah. All right, very good. And there's something else I was going to say, but I forgot what it was. Thanks for being here, Andy. Next up, WA6HCX. George, what have you been up to lately? KF6SYD. WA6HCX, KF6SYD calling. Well, George's not here either. Kevin will be there. WA6JKN, how you doing, Kevin? It's your turn.
Okay, Steve. Good evening to everyone. This is WA6JKN, Kevin and Gilroy. Gilroy is also known as the garlic capital of the world, located about 75 miles south of San Francisco. Everybody's come through very, very nice tonight. Don't know what happened to George. He had a great signal when he checked in. Well, anyway, I do have a listing. I don't think I've ever listed anything on the AMI Net. But before I get into that, I am running the mighty KW1 tonight, made by Collins, serial number 18. Been in the family 70 years. And the 75A4 is the receiver, Electro Voice 638. Could you imagine having a transmitter that's been in the family that long and it's still functional? Absolutely amazing. I'm glad that I picked it up from my father back in 1978, I think it was. He said, Kevin, the next time you come down and visit, bring your truck. Oh boy, I couldn't believe it. I'm still in shock that I own a KW1. All right, here we go. I grew up on that rig, by the way. So here's the listing. I have something here that's very, very unique, very rare, a museum piece. It's ham radio related, and I don't believe I own it. I'm just like the KW1. I'm actually holding something else in my hand that's just as unique and fabulous that I want to list tonight. And some people are going to go, "Are you kidding me?" What this is, it's a vacuum tube manufactured by RCA, and it's a 5U4 Golf Bravo, a JAN 5U4. Now most people know that that's a full-wave rectifier. But here's what makes it rare, very unique, and a want to most high-end tube collectors. And I don't know how many people here are actual collectors of rare tubes. But this particular RCA 5U4 is also marked as a pentode. Specifically, it's got the marking for a 6L6 Golf Charlie. A 6L6 Golf Charlie. RCA, in their manufacturing process, apparently double stamped this thing. The 6L6 is in your classic gray paint, and the JAN 5U4 print is in the I call it magenta. Some people call it red, reddish orange, that kind of thing. Very rare to have a tube that is mismarked. So when you first pick it up, you go, yeah, it's about the size of a 6L6, and then you kind of look at it closely and you go, wait a minute, that looks like a 5U4. Very, very rare, very, very unique. And far as I know, there are no others in existence. None. So that's what I'm listing tonight for any of those serious tube collectors that would like to own this. The price I'm asking for this particular rare museum piece is $50,000. So only serious people place. This is no joke. All right, well that's it for me. And good to hear everybody on tonight. And wishing everybody a happy Thanksgiving coming up here pretty soon. And the very best to you and your families. I'm going to be in Texas, I think, about that time. So I'll probably be operating remote. So KF6SYD and the AMI group WA6JKN.
George, back.
Let's see. Only one of me out here now. All right, Kevin. Very interesting. I'm sure everybody heard that, and I'm sure I wouldn't be able to explain it like you did. Good luck with that, and we'll see. Let us know how you do. I'm not going to buy it. All right, have a good time in Texas, Kevin. Next up, K6ZTA, Vaughn. How are things in Woodland Hills?
Steve, George, we're back.
I had that thing. Yeah, someone hanging carrier on Kevin the whole time, so I had to skirt it off. It was. So other station breaking in, I didn't hear you. So is it you, Jack?
Steve, George, WA6HCX.
Oh, well, we're sorry, George. George, sorry. We missed you. Glad you've returned. And I don't think Vaughn would be too badly offended if you'd go ahead and take your transmission now. How you doing, George? How's everything?
Okay, Steve, very good. And I apologize, Vaughn. We'll get this short. Unfortunately, I was distracted here, and I had the phone myself, so I was not able to communicate. Anyhow, very quickly, George, Santa Barbara, AMI 951, running the columns 20B3, and Steve, you're sounding very, very good from the mountaintop there, and I'm going to stick around for a roundtable because I want to find out what's happening in Val and all the adventurous stuff in your life. Some of us are living rather bored life by comparison, but it's sort of like a movie serial on Saturday, The Adventures of Steve. And it was not Batman or Superman or any of those. It's a guy from Long Beach. He'll tell us these stories about what's been happening to him for the past week. Anyhow, we'll stick around and talk about it later. You're doing a great job tonight, by the way, Steve. And Vaughn, I apologize. It's your turn next. Go ahead.
All right. Okay, George. The adventures there of Steve. Yeah, that's good. It's almost like a comic strip, right? The adventures of, I can't even think of the names of those, the pilot with the eye patch. Although was he a pilot? I don't know. Anyway, KF6SYD, WA6HCX, K6ZTA. Yeah, the handle here is Victor Oscar November. Woodland Hills. My AMI number is 1757. I'm running the Viking 2. And the Viking 2 is going through the 2060 tuner. And that's tuned a little better. And we're running about 100 watts of carrier. And it's going into the inverted V hanging off a 51-foot tower. 55-foot tower. I got it right. And 96. So, anyway, I was going to ask Kevin if Kevin's still around. How much was that he was asking? They were asking for that crazy tube. How much was that?
Yeah, okay, Vaughn. Yeah, the rare 5U4/6L6 Pentode is a museum piece being listed for $50,000. QSL?
QSL, I thought that's what you said, but I had to verify. Wow. All right. I guess that's got to be a... Wow. Is it a 5U4 or is it a 606? Or is it a hybrid? Oh my gosh. That's a son of a gun. At any rate, no on the swamp, no on the round table. And let's see, what was I going to say? I didn't write anything down. I should have written some stuff down here. But, the square hole in the water pipe. That was a pretty good trick there, Phil. Punched a square hole in the water pipe. Wow. Yeah, that copper's not that strong. I mean, it's, I guess it's soft compared to iron, cast iron. So there you go. Anyway, we had a tree growing in the front yard. Well, it was a bush, and then it turned into a tree not overnight, and then I realized the ground was very soppy, and so it had plenty of water. No wonder it grew like a weed. And it was the water main, and it was unfortunately it's PVC, so that was not too hard to fix. The hard part was digging the darn hole. I'm not trying to talk to the house is about 5 feet above the sidewalk. Water meter is down at the sidewalk, so it has to come under the sidewalk and then go up to the closer to the surface there to get to the house. Anyway, the hole was a terrible hole to dig. It was crazy. Anyway, enough of that. No on the swap, no on the round table. Thank you very much, Steve and Skip. KF6SYD, K6ZTA.
Okay, boy. Beautiful transmission, and everybody's making me feel better about having problems with water pipes. Nice to know I'm not the only one. And no, Phil doesn't fool around with the pickaxe. He swings the pickaxe real strong, so he got the nice hole in there without any trouble. Right. See, George, I got you for the round table, and yeah, I got to see Valerie today once. Yeah, yes, I did. So we'll talk later. AI6LY? Oh, wait a minute. No. Is there anyone who wants to get on the list that's not on the list already for the net tonight? I'll put you on the list. Please call now.
Steve, George, I have a quick question for Kevin.
Yeah, go ahead.
Kevin, I don't have a problem with your price, but really concerns me how much postage are you going to charge for that? Because that may make it or break it. If you're going to charge too much postage for that tube that, as you say, is a very, very, very rare tube, I hope the postage is not rare, and maybe you'd be willing to send it postpaid. Anyhow, you need that response, Kevin.
Yeah, okay, George. Yeah, no. I guess you've never dealt with rare items before. But no, you don't use postal service or things like UPS or FedEx or something like that. It's handled by special carrier because of the value of the merchandise. So no, it's all included. Over.
Okay, Kevin, thanks. I hope she's an attractive carrier because that maybe I'll be willing to pay the cost for that carrier if she's attractive.
I think I've got it. Oh, you guys are... Yes. No, you can ship what you can insure for more than $50,000, and people send diamonds and gold and silver ingots and stuff. The U.S. mail is the best way to go because you can insure it, and it's actually a very good way to do it. So you don't need the special courier, but I'm sure Kevin would be able to send an attractive courier if you want to buy the two. All right, let's keep going. AI6LY, John, it's finally your turn. Welcome, and please take your turn.
Well, hey, Steve. Good evening, and good evening, everybody on the net. Check. Good. So you guys cracked me up, broken water pipes, sewer lines, mutant tubes, shipping costs. Boy. Anyway, if it wasn't interesting, nobody would listen, right? Anyway, Steve, great to hear you on. Absolutely beautiful signal from you tonight, and of course Kevin blowing the speakers out as usual. The band finally settled down, which is great. It was a tough check-in earlier tonight. Anyway, John AI6LY in Scotts Valley, up at the north end of the Monterey Bay, past Santa Cruz. AMI number 1773, running the Collins 32B3 and the 75A1 tonight. The mic is a D104, and just running the rig as is, about 90 watts of carrier going up to the inverted V. No swap, no round table, because I got grandkids running around here, and we're having a ball while they're here, and then we're going to head down south over the weekend. My older son is getting married, so that'll be fun. And I sent a note around to a few folks. That morning I will be exercising the radio on the Queen Mary, so that'll be fun. I'll be W6RO. Anyway, thanks for taking the net, Steve. Good to hear you. KF6SYD, AI6LY. Good evening.
All right, John, congratulations on your son getting married, and cool on being with the grandkids. And yes, I've been up to the radio room in the Queen Mary, and they're like, it's been years, but they're, come volunteer here. We need guys. And I almost took them up on it, but maybe, I got to get some pipes fixed, and maybe I will someday. But very cool of you to do that. That's very cool. Thank you for being here, John. Beautiful signal into Long Beach. Now, way out in the distance here, well, not too far, W8 Victor Golf George. It's your turn. Go ahead.
Very good, Steve. KF6SYD in the net. W8 Victor Golf George out here in Oro Valley, Arizona, about 10 miles north of the old Pueblo, Tucson. Everybody's got good signals in here tonight, Steve. You're blowing me away and hearing everybody. I started out going back and forth between KFS and the R390, and as it got later, why I put the MacBook away. I'm just using the receiver here tonight. Anyways, this is George out here in Oro Valley. I'm running a Homebrew Parabank 13s modulated by another pair of Acme triodes here, and listening on an R390, not an old Army receiver made by Motorola Fort Collins back in the 50s. And my antenna's inverted B for 160. It's only up about 40 feet, fed with regular old ladder line down here to a homebrew link tuner. Yeah. And let's see. Yeah, sorry to hear about plumbing problems, Steve. We had enough of those here. In the house, we've had a few, and then out in the yard. Yeah, no fun. I've got a drip system here that waters about half the desert around the house here, and it's not unusual for me to go out in the mornings and when it's on with the dog, with the puppy, and look out there, and there's a big wet spot in the desert, or even worse, we've got Old Faithful going, you know. But I've learned to be an expert at fixing that stuff. It's not too bad, you know. Copper's something else. I get a plumber in here. But anyways, hope that ironed out. Yeah, that's no fun. Our water company here will send, if we start using an unusual amount of water, my wife Karen gets a text. I think they text her, and then I go out and look for it. It's usually the drip system and some of the little varmints around here that get into that. Anyways, let's see. AMI number 1814. Nothing to buy, sell, swap, or trade. I will not hang around for the round table. Might listen for a little bit, but I think I'm gonna probably turn in early tonight. Yeah, the Queen Mary. Gosh darn. That I used to love to go there. I've been in the radio room, and then we used to go years ago down. They had a big buffet down in like the ballroom. It was not cheap, but it was nice. And I probably haven't been to that in about 20 years. But oh man, it made me think about it. Made me hungry just listening to you guys talk. Anyways, I don't have anything more here. Good job running the net. Great signal. Ron, or Skipper, thanks for picking me up there on the earlies, and we'll move her right along here, Steve. KF6SYD, W8 Victor Golf, 7-3.
Hi, George. Yeah, you know, the city put a lot of money in the Queen Mary this year. A lot of money. And painted it and stuff. And they won't pave my street, but they're going to keep it and keep it good. So we'll have it for many years to come. So it's a very, very cool thing. Okay, George, thanks for being here. And Bob, WA9JIB, at long last, hope I haven't kept you up too late. It's your turn, Bob. Go ahead.
Okay, YD, good night. Camp Success YD in the group, WA9JIB, Bob here. Not picking up too late, so I got a very early meeting tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. But anyway, I just been fiddling around with my guitar in the background while listening, and wondering about football scores across football. So anyway, the rig is usual volume. Oh, you guys hear that hum in there? It's not mechanical vibration. I don't know what it is when vibration. Sometimes it's on key. And then it gets worse, and then it gets better. So, who knows? And here it comes back. So, anyway, antennas are inverted big dipole hanging off a 35-foot mast. Receiver is a Hammerland HQ129 X-ray, and I will say no AMI number, no buy-sell swap, and no round table, and I'm going to keep it short, things like that. So, Steve, KF6SYD, WA9JIB.
Okay, Bob, we don't hear the hum. There's nothing here. You get paper towel tube, the cardboard tube about a foot long, and you put it up to your ear, and you'll find it that way. It's like direction finder for your ear. And I found a bad cap in this SB600 that way. Couldn't find it any other way. It was inside a little aluminum box, and I opened that little aluminum box, and it was one of those caps, Black Beauty. That the whole thing had been recapped, but no one found that Black Beauty inside that box. And it's gone out, so you can hear it crackle. But good luck finding it. We don't hear the hum, but I know it's driving you nuts. And glad you had something to do while you waited for your turn. Okay, Bob, good luck. Hear you next time. Good luck at the meeting tomorrow. WJ6W Dave, I think next week sometime, head out to Wayne and Sharon's. I'll study the book and go out there, and we'll have a go at it. Try to get, other stuff done first, but it'll be in time, I'm sure. WJ6WKF6SYD.
Yeah, okay, Steve. KF6SYD, WJ6W. Yeah, that sounds good about next week, and no problem. What a neat way to find a bad capacitor by hearing it. That's a new one to me, but your method works, so that's pretty cool. And Bob, yeah, I wonder. I didn't hear anything on your signal there, but I'm wondering if there's maybe an AC relay in the transmitter or something that's vibrating. I'm not sure. So anyway, that's my only thought on it, and hopefully you'll find it or it'll go away or something. But anyway, this is Dave, WJ6W in Tarzana. Tonight we're running our Collins 20V2 broadcast transmitter, it's being fed by a Collins audio mixer. Well, the microphone's a 77DX RCA ribbon microphone into a Collins mixer, and that goes into a Duro DAP 610 processor, and then that goes to the transmitter up to an inverted V of 65 feet. So, Steve, I didn't hear your plumbing problem. I know you've been working on your septic tanks and the drains out at the cabin, and I'm just wondering if maybe the drains are hopelessly clogged with roots or something. That happened to our main drain here at the house here in Tarzana probably 25 years ago. And it turned out that the drain was clay tile, sections of clay tile apparently, and eventually that just gives way to the roots get in through the cracks, and at some point you just can't repair it anymore. So we had it replaced. They didn't have to dig it all up. They just dug a hole at one end, and then I think down in the street there was another. They had to take out a section of sidewalk or something. I can't quite remember. It's been a while. Anyway, and they ran some flexible plastic pipe. They were able to. They had a special system where they could ram it down through the old clay tile, break it up on the way, and then when they reached the street, they connected it up to the sewer system, and then at the house end, they connected up to the iron pipe drain that goes under the house. So that was probably 25 years ago, and hopefully it's a forever fix, but there's no possibility of roots getting in anywhere along the line because of that. Anyway, that's it for here. No swap, no round table, and I'll turn it back to you. KF6SYD, WJ6W.
All right, Dave, well, you lucked out being able to put a plastic case inside the existing clay pipe. You just got to cross your fingers, see if it goes through, and it did. So very, very cool. No, the cabin's good. We got that, and we came home, and the water mains broke here at home in town. So it's just a little leak. In other words, you see the ground's all wet, and it's real mushy when you stand there. But we can still use it and everything till they come fix it. So that's all. It's just pipe time for us. That's all right. We'll fix it. Okay, Dave. Real cool. Wonderful transmission. And okay, now I've got KFS turned on. Do I? Yeah. And it's time for Matthew in for DLA. Matthew, it's your turn. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you very much, Steve. KF6SYD and the West Coast AMI Net. This is Matthew in for DLA in Orinda, California, about 15 miles east of San Francisco. AMI number 1618. Transmitter is a Knight C150A. Screen modulated, crystal controlled, about 75 watts carrier. Turner 454H microphone, going straight feeding a 75-meter coaxial nitrogen. Converged to the Knight C150A fraternal okay, so I got it home, put it on the workbench, let it play. After about 5 minutes, I heard what sounded like escaping steam. And I turned around and looked and saw smoke coming out of the mixer, and the metal can electrolytic had shorted and burned and leaked oil and made a public nuisance out of itself. So, more parts to order. I'll replace the can with separate capacitors. I think there's 4 in there in that job. So I've never had one of those blow up on me. I just find them, they're open. But this one wanted to go out in a blaze of glory. Luckily it didn't blaze the shack. So thank you again, Steve, for running the net. Back to you, KF6SYD in the West Coast AMI Net from N4DLA, Orinda.
All right, Matthew. Yeah, you were there to catch it, and it let you know what was wrong. That's the best kind. You don't have to troubleshoot. There it is. So glad it didn't take anything else out with it. Cool story. Thanks for being here. Next up, Mike, W7MS. Mike, it's your turn. Go ahead.
Well, thank you, Steve. KF6SYD in the West Coast AMI Net, W7MS, Mike in Reno. So, good evening to one and all. And I'll start by saying adamantly that I'm not going to discuss my plumbing problems, either present or past. It's getting late in the evening, but maybe we'll save that for the plumbing net. But to business here, AMI number 216, this evening running a Collins 30K5 transmitter, being excited by a 302C1 Collins VFO, about 250 watts, out to a coax-fed dipole here around 75 meters. Receiver is a 851S1 Rockwell Collins receiver. Microphone is an amplified D104. And that's really about it. And excited to see if my friend John Lawson, KB6SCO, is still with us for the next turn in the rotation. Nice to hear his newly resurrected broadcast transmitter. But thanks, Steve, for running the show. And we'll stay tuned for future updates on that water leak in your front yard. KF6SYD, W7MS.
All right, Mike. Everybody's going to be tired of hearing about pipes and water after this net. It's all my fault, too. Thank you, Mike. And let's see if John stuck around. KB6SCO, John, are you there? KF6SYD calling.
KF6SYD in the net. Here's John. Kilo Bravo 6, Sierra Charlie Oscar, Dayton, Nevada. Delta Mike 0 Foxtrot Golf. We're about 10 miles east of Carson City, down the hill from Virginia City, out on the Platte. And thanks for running the net tonight. We are stimulating the ether with a 1947 RCA 250K broadcast transmitter. She's making about 225 watts right now. Receiving, we'll be calling 61J4. Microphone's a Shure SM57 with a solid state limiter running through my little Mackie board because I'm too lazy to get the tube gear out. The antenna's a myantennas.com sloper, end fed, about 40 feet off the ground, and it's half wave at 80 meters. Tuned with a Palstar 82K. And just got this old transmitter running. I've had it about 10 years. And in fact, it's been about 10 years since I checked into this net. Used to have a Viking tech. So it's been a long time. Just got the transmitter running like we said. Trying to give it kind of a shakedown. It's probably running about 80% right now. Not enough grid drive, few other little things, but hey, older than I am. So like that,
right, John, I heard you on KFS. Little trouble locally. Congratulations on getting the rig on the air. You've got it, they call it a hum, but it's like a grounding, like it's not loud. It's in there with your audio, and you'll want to listen to yourself on KFS probably, and you can record yourself and play yourself back on there. You'll hear it. It's you'll just need to ground something or unground something to make that hum go away. And yeah, I don't know that much about it. I may be giving you the wrong answer to your problem, so take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, the modulation's very clear and nice, so you're almost there. And come back next week and let's see how it sounds. And I don't know why I can't hear you local, but I couldn't hear Mike that good either. I had to use KFS for him, so you're not doing that bad. So very, very good. Congratulations. Let's finish off with, and I'll call and see if there's anyone after. But Bob, NA7RH, it's your turn, Bob. How are things in Scottsdale?
Hi, Steve. We have success ID in the net, NA7RH. Success ID in the net, NA7RH, Bob here in the Scottsdale area, running roll 62.5 feet special, 82 foot transmit on 425 push pole, mostly hourly driven well, this evening, I was having a lot of trouble hearing anyone. Looks like a local broadband road source was signal seemed quite weak. But things have come up. I was listening to them. It was around 55 up until a minute ago. It does sound very good. And in the beginning, everything seemed like a little fully low signal. That hum that was on, just the previous sentient there, it sounded like the telephone voice. It sounded like it was pitched. What caused it? Lost with damage of equipment. I won't go into plumbing, but I've had my battles for sure, and that's a continuous pressure shock. I don't know how to avoid it at all. And what else? Just heard a little bit from an extremely relative, and they're hanging in there, but pretty scary business going on over there. So, anyway, back to the net. NA7RH.
All right, Bob, thanks for hanging around to the end. And always good to have you here. A little rough copy this time. I don't know why I tried local and KFS. It's not quite. You're usually pretty good, and it was a little rough. But you are right. That hums like a telephone, and the guitar amps would always make that hum when you turn them up all the way, especially before you plug the guitar in, or as you're plugging it in, you'll hear that what they call a hum. So that's it's all like grounding stuff, I think. But that's just, I don't know. Anyhow, this has been good. And is there anyone who wants to check into the net before we close the net? If so, please call now.
NY6L returning.
Oh yeah, you weren't there, and Jeff wasn't there, and George wasn't there, but George came back. Jay, yeah, you were probably eating dinner or something. Anyway, yes, please make your check-in.
I checked in before, but I really missed it. But anyway, I had a couple of very quick phone calls to take care of, and in between little stuff, wolf down some dinner. Anyway, I'll make it real fast here. AMI number 1548. We're running the usual here, the Super Senior D104 microphonium, 3 kilowatt roller inductor going into the 80-40 meter dipole out in the backyard, out in the clear. National NC303 on the receive end. And no for the swap because TRW is coming up this Saturday. And no for the round table, but I will listen through. But anyway, there you go. I guess that's my 45 seconds or so of spiel there, whatever it is. Back to their Steve, and thank you for running that. And back to talk about plumbing issues too. But that's my old life. That's back in the old house. Anyway, back to you, Steve. TF6FYD NY6L. Jay here in a cool Hesperia.
All right, Jay. No, you don't need plumbing problems there. Got everything all up to snuff, and it should hold out for quite some time. So enjoy. All right. Is there anyone else who wants to check in before we close the net? Please call now. Okay. That's it. Thanks everyone for participating. This has been a very fun net, and sounded like everybody kind of had a good time. That's what makes it enjoyable for me, is when we all enjoy visiting together like we've done this evening. It's very, very cool. And we have, I think George is here for the round table, and Skip always, and of course he's on the airplane, so he's automatically in for the round table. And is there anyone else who wants to be in for the round table before we begin? Please call now. Alright, let's see if we're all here. K6LGL, if you're there and want to, you can begin the round table, and please turn it over to George, WA6HCX, who I think he said he wanted to be here. And then I'll pick it up when George is done. So K6LGL for the round table, KF6SYD.